We're really not explaining this very well.
No, we're not.
It's just okay. Tits up. If I was watching this, I'd be very confused right now. I think we need to start again.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am here with my husband.
I feel weird talking to a phone.
We are here to talk about DVC today. So I'm wearing my little DVC t-shirt. Craig's got his little DVC jumper on, or sweater, whatever you want to call it. And I've got you guys to send in some questions. So we're going to answer some questions, but first we're going to start off talking about our experience with DVC, why we've joined DVC, what DVC means for us. All the basics that you're going to need to know if you are interested in the Disney Vacation Club and joining. So we've only been on one DVC vacation, so we're in no way like experts about the whole DVC thing. But
we know how it works.
We know how it works.
We're going to put it in layman's terms.
Yeah, okay. So, little information about Disney Vacation Club. It was founded in 1991.
Yeah.
And the first resort that was available was Old Key West. We've been members for just over a year. We joined in January 2017. We've been on one vacation with our Disney Vacation Club points
so far. And
we're going to go into a little bit of detail about what points are, what it means.
But not too much detail because it's very complicated, especially for first timers. It took me ages to get to grips with how it all actually works, but you do eventually get there.
Disney Vacation Club is a point-based system. I'll tell you straight, we recorded this 5 times and with the two of us, and it just got so complicated and so confusing. So what I've decided to do is like just combine the two videos. So Craig will be joining us later on in this video where we both answer questions together. But the main part of this DVC video, I'm just going to explain the whole process because it got way too complicated with the two of us trying to explain it with no like guidelines. I don't script my videos, I just do them. So we kind of winged it and it just didn't go very well. So I have my notes in my Mickey Mouse sketchbook from the Disney store. DVC is the Disney Vacation Club. It was started in 1991 by the Walt Disney Company, and it's their version of a timeshare. Now everyone knows what a timeshare is. Timeshare, you have a specific location, a specific week or 2 weeks of the year, and that's when you can go. So it's very limited in your options on how you want to vacation and when you want to vacation and where you want to vacation because you only have the one option. So Disney Vacation Club releases those limitations. You decide where you go, when you go, and everything. The possibilities are like endless with Disney. DVC is a point-based system. The cost of the points depends on the home resort you purchase. The cheapest DVC points were for Old Key West, which was the original DVC resort. It was the first one. But since that was new in 1991, all of the DVC properties have been bought up, so that is now sold out, so you cannot buy DVC points for Old Key West. But that doesn't mean you can't stay there. But I will get to that in a sec. Okay, so we know we're buying points, but how do we use them? During different times of the year or seasons, like peak season, off season, low season, the number of points required to stay in certain resorts will differ. So let's just say, for example, you've got 100 points for whatever resort it is. In January, or the quiet season, which is when Craig and I like to go the best, the points will be, say, for example, 16 points a night in the Polynesian. Flip straight forward to December, or the height of summer, like Christmas season, school holiday season, it's going to cost you 30 points a night. This isn't accurate numbers, this is just like ballpark figures that I'm pulling from my head. But you get the point. It costs more points to stay in certain places when it's busy. Simple. But the whole point is you get to decide when you want to go and vacation. You're not restricted to that one timeshare week or 2 weeks or whatever, however long it is, in that one place. Well, bearing this information in mind, it's going to completely differ from member to member. No membership is the same. I mean, some are going to be the same, but no membership is exactly the same. You need to think how often you want to visit and what times of year you want to visit. That's going to determine how many points you need for for your membership. Your points are refreshed every single year, so if you wanted to go every year and you have enough points to go every year, you are easily able to go every year. So Craig and I have gone to Disney World as non-members for the previous 2 years, and it does get quite expensive if you're paying outright every time, because you're paying for your flights, your accommodation, your food, your park tickets, you're paying for like everything every time you go. So this was a major factor in why Craig and I decided that we wanted to join DVC. We do want to go to Disney regularly, but paying this huge chunk of money for one vacation it's a lot to give up, and it's a lot to factor into our lives. With our relatively modest amount of points, we're able to go every 3 years, and that is absolutely fine for us. That's totally easy, really manageable, and we don't even really notice any money coming out. It's that small. I had to add this in. It's not just like once every 3 years. So if I wanted to stay at the Polynesian once every 3 years, that's fine. But for the same amount of points, I could stay at Animal Kingdom once every other year. So again, prime example of where and when you want to vacation determines how many points your vacation is going to cost. It's the perfect amount of time for you to experience the magic, go back home, do like little Disneyland Paris trips and things, and then by the time you've gone back to Disney, there's bound to be something completely new to experience, and you're not rinsing your finances every single year with every trip you go. You're not spending 3, 4, 5 grand on one vacation. You really do need 2 weeks at least to experience Florida at its fullest, to get the most out of your vacation. What we do with our points is we use the banking and borrowing options. So say you have 100 points at the Polynesian and you want to go away in 2019, but you want to stay at Bay Lake Tower. So say, for a complete example, Bay Lake Tower costs 300 points to stay there for 2 weeks in 2019. You don't have enough points, you've only got 100 points, and you got them with the Poly. You can still use those anywhere. Because you want to go away in 2019, which is when it's going to be 300 points for you to go, you are going to bank your points from 2018, and you are going to borrow your points from 2020. Now you've got 100 points from 2020, 100 points from 2018, and you add them to your 2019, and you've got 300 points. Perfect. That's what you need for that vacation to stay in Bay Lake Tower, which is, it's walking distance from Magic Kingdom. You can walk there in 10 minutes. Anyway, you have exactly the amount of points you need to get yourself to Bay Lake Tower for that 2 week vacation. Now it does mean that you're not going away in 2018 or 2020, but you're staying in the Contemporary Resort, which is incredibly expensive if you are paying cash. You will bleed this money, and it's a really nice place to stay too. So DVC accommodation allows you to stay in like deluxe villas, deluxe studios, and a deluxe studio at the Polynesian sleeps up to 5 people. We stayed in a deluxe studio in the Polynesian for 2 weeks in January. If we were paying that in cash, it would have been between $5,000 and $6,000. We didn't pay that because we're DVC members, and we paid with our points. So that's a massive selling point to me, is that I'm not giving you $5,000 to $6,000 because I'm paying monthly for my membership. DVC covers your accommodation, and it gives you literally all of the comforts of home. You have the little kitchen or kitchenette. You've got literally everything you need. You've got a little microwave. It's completely different to staying in a queen room, a queen double. I don't know. I've stayed in the value hotels and the moderate hotels. Nothing compares to a deluxe studio, specifically in the Polynesian, because that's my home resort and I love it. Here's the secret. You decide. Depending on your preferences, you can have an easily manageable membership that makes vacationing super easy. Pay as little as £50 a month for a really modest membership, or you can go all out and get loads of points, which is obviously not going to be £50 a month. And that's what's so great about it. It's completely up to you. It's what you can afford, what you want to do, how often you want a vacation, where and when. So when you sign up for DVC, you're actually getting deeds in Walt Disney World, which is an amazing thing to brag about if you want to brag about it, because you actually have deeds in property there, which is crazy. You own a piece of Disney World. But back to the membership though, again. Membership lasts for 50 years, so you have that for 50 years. That is a lifetime, because I'm gonna be dead by then. 50 years. This is something you can pass on to your kids. If you want to pass it on to your kids, you can do that, it's possible. So Craig and I are financing our membership over 10 years, which means that once that's done, we have 40 years of membership that we've already paid for, and it's done. We don't have to pay any monthly fees anymore. It's just ours for 40 years. We can vacation using our points every single year if we want to. So whilst the membership lasts for 50 years, you are only financing it for the first 10, and then it's completely yours. I will also mention annual dues. Annual dues are a one-off payment that you have to pay every year, but it is to do with the maintenance, renovations, anything that goes into doing up the DVC resorts. That is something that you will have to continue paying for the entire 50 years. But I'll put it into perspective. Our annual dues this year were £300-ish, which means we're going to be paying £300 for our membership, for a yearly membership for 50 years. And we get to stay in the deluxe resorts, the best resorts. Whenever we go to Disney World, we have the luxury of being DVC members. There are so many perks to being a DVC member. The annual dues are something that is different for every member. It again depends on how many points you have. So the more points you have, the more your annual dues are going to be. So the points determine how much your annual dues are every year. So if you've got a modest amount of points, you're going to have a modest annual due payment due. One of the really cool things that you get when you sign up with DVC, this awesome tote bag. I love this tote bag, it is so cute. DVC member. Not everyone gets these, just DVC members. You also get welcome home kits sent to your home address, so when you arrive back home from your vacation, or shortly after you arrive back from your vacation, you will get one of these little home kits, which is really sweet. It says, "Welcome to the family." And it's got all these little cute things in it. It's got like bumper stickers, little information packs. There's loads of stuff in these little things, and they feel really nice. They're really nice and smooth. You also get given the reservation and points charts. So this tells me exactly how many points certain resorts are going to cost. Okay, I think that is pretty much the basics of DVC. I'm just going to shoot straight over now to the questions with Craig. The first question here is from Lizzie in Disneyland on Instagram, and this question is, are you able to visit Disneyland Paris with DVC? If so, how does it work? The simple answer is yes, you can. You use your points to pay for it, but because Disneyland Paris, the Disneyland Hotel, is not technically a Disney resort hotel, it's like privately owned, or it's like a sister
DVC
company.
doesn't own it.
What he said. Because they don't own it, the points are more expensive. So rather than say 16 points a night, it's going to be 50 points a night. That's random numbers, I don't know if that's exact, but it's going to be a lot more expensive for you to stay in the Disneyland hotel with your points than it is if you were to just pay cash.
Your DVC members, probably every DVC member will tell you, do not use your points to stay in non-DVC resort hotels, because it costs a lot more money and you're not getting value for your membership.
So yes, but no, in answer to your question.
There's a lot of information out there on the internet about using DVC points to go on cruises, to go on adventures by Disney, and to stay in like Disneyland Paris or Hong Kong or Shanghai. There's a lot of it, and a lot of people will argue against using your DVC points to stay in those places because DVC does not own them. So technically, yes, you can use your points to stay in these hotels, but it isn't worth your buck.
Again, what he said. Next question is from Otto Co L Will on Instagram. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, I'm sorry. Can you still get the dining plan when on DVC?
Yes.
Easy answer, yes.
Yes, you can. Dining plan is a completely separate thing from DVC.
Entity. Let's say entity.
It's a separate entity from DVC. The good thing about DVC is in the majority of restaurants in Disney World, they give you 10% off because you're DVC members. Yes, you can use dining plan when you have DVC.
This question is from Philippa BH on Instagram. Aside from generally understanding how it all works for us UK folk, I'd really like to know how the price and what you get for it compares to taking trips without it or as normal. Okay, if you are going once a year minimum, that is going to get very expensive because it's, what, like 3 grand if you're, for the two of us. 3 grand for one vacation for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Every year. In 3 years, you've spent 10 grand on 3 vacations. You are going to be paying every single year for your entire holiday every single year. So for us, that is going to work out better for us, and we get to stay in the deluxe resorts like Polynesian. $5,000 to $6,000 for the 2-week stay that we stayed, but we didn't pay that because we've got our points and we used our points to pay for it instead. That's an example of how that's going to cost you that much if you stay there. That's how much it's going to not cost you if you're a DVC member. I don't know what this is. It's a long answer. It's a complicated question. I hope that helps. Next question is from a fickle little fairy on Instagram. What are the benefits or perks? I like this question. Also, what are the pitfalls for the scheme? Can only the named people use the facility or guests too? Do you have to pay for park passes? What about the dining plans included, or are there extras? If so, how do you purchase them?
That's like 10 different questions in one question.
That's a lot of questions. Okay, so let's start off with the first question. What are the benefits or perks? What's your favourite benefit of being a DVC member?
20% off of Disney merchandise.
And then you also get 10% off food.
Yeah.
And the perks and benefits are subject to change on a yearly basis.
Another favourite perk of mine is
You're going to say the Epcot Lounge, aren't you?
the Epcot Lounge in Epcot. It's very nice. It is a DVC members only lounge in Epcot. It's in the glass pyramid above Figment. They have free drinks, free snacks, free Wi-Fi. They have charging stations for your phone. They have comfy seating.
So if it's been a long day in Epcot and you've been walking around World Showcase loads, go to the member lounge, go upstairs and chill. That as well is great. You can take your guests. So up to 5 guests?
Up to 5 guests.
My absolute favourite perk of being a DVC member is the special event known as Moonlight Magic.
Oh yeah.
This is an amazing event that they started in 2017. It was so popular that they are now doing it for 2018. They're doing it every single month, twice a month, and it's where the park is closed to regular people and also regular park guests. It's only open for DVC members and their guests. There is free food, free snacks, free drinks. You literally go into the restaurants where you've been during the day and you've bought your chicken nuggets, and now they're just giving away chicken nuggets for free.
Handing them out, chucking them up people.
So there's free food, free drink, rare character experiences like Esmeralda and Clopin.
They have the hyenas from Lion King. They have the hippo and the ostrich from Fantasia.
But this is all subject to change as well. The characters are always going to be different. So last year you could meet Ariel and Eric together, Belle and the Beast together in their ballroom dance scene outfits. They have their own fireworks show specifically for that night, which is different to any other night, which will be in one of my other videos because I caught it. So the rides are all open and there's no one there, so you can walk straight onto Seven Dwarfs Mine Train as many times as you like. So that is my favourite perk. Moonlight Magic, absolutely.
Can only the named people use the facility, or guests too? Guests can use your membership if you allow them to. You have to book it as members. So if you wanted your mum and your dad to use your membership to go away to Disney World, they can do that. But you have to book it for them, not them. And you have to book it in their name.
You can also take guests with you. So if we wanted to go away with our friends, we book the hotel and then they get to stay in the hotel with us for free.
Because a deluxe studio, which is the standard DVC room that you can get
in the Polynesian,
can sleep up to 5 people. But some other hotels do sleep up to 5, but then the majority of them sleep up to 4.
So Disney Vacation Club, it really only kind of caters to people that stay on property. So if you're going to Disney World and you're staying in a villa every time, not on Disney property, it probably isn't going to cater to you. But if you vacation at Disney World every time you go to Disney World, it's definitely...
It makes sense.
It makes sense because in the long run you'll be saving money. What are the perks you can get from the parks? I'm going for the first time as a member in March. Well, congratulations for being a member, and
we're practically related.
Yes, welcome to the family, welcome home, and all that stuff. What are the perks you can get within the parks? Discounts. Make sure you go to the Epcot Member Lounge.
March. There's a Moonlight Magic in March.
If you haven't already got your ticket for Moonlight Magic, get it now.
No, they won't be able to get it now. It'll be... Oh, that's next month.
Okay, next question is from Disney Collection 09. How can you become a member, and can everybody join in, or is it just for the UK? Everybody can join. You're all welcome.
You have to be a consenting adult, of course.
Yes. Yes.
How can you become a member? Go to the parks. Go to any of the parks. You don't actually need to go to the parks. You can go to
Disney Springs
and they have DVC booths there. Go to them, say you're interested, say you want to go into the tour. The tour is really fun. They give you free food, free ice cream at the end of it, and free 3 fast passes if you've got access to the parks. And there's completely no pressure to buy. It's not like a normal timeshare where that salesperson is going, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. They say, we're Disney. If you don't want to buy it, you don't want to buy it. It's fine, no problem whatsoever. But they're there to tell you what it's all about and how it will benefit you. Especially if you go to Disney World a lot, like we do, and stay in Disney hotels.
The perks, another one of my favourite perks is being able to buy things like this.
Oh yes,
that
DVC
show that you're a DVC member.
And you can only get them if you are DVC members.
DVC backpack with the DVC logo. Yes, so you can only get these if you are a DVC member, and you get to show off that you are a DVC member. Feel free to comment below any questions you might have that we haven't covered. If there's anything you would like me to answer, just comment and I will give you a response. Hopefully this has been helpful. If it's not been helpful, if it's just been really, really confusing, blame Craig.
It is confusing. But it is, if you've never heard of DVC before, like when we first joined, I was so confused with all this information. But then you have to do your homework, you have to research, and now I'm kind of clued up on it.
Right guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. Lots of love to you. Leave me your comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Let's have a round of applause for Craig.
This is a one-time visit to Greg's YouTube channel. I'm not doing it again.
I mean, he says this, but... So yes. Thank you, Craig. Bye guys. Mwah!